My fig trees are still asleep right now, but they're gonna wake up in the next few weeks and they're gonna be extra hungry. A few days ago, I root pruned them and I also pruned the tops. So now I'm gonna go through and fertilize them, and I'm gonna show you how I do that. My go-to fertilizer is always Citrus Tone from Espoma. This one includes their Biotone formula and I use it for every single one of my fruit trees.
You get fertilizer! You get fertilizer! Everybody gets fertilizer!
It doesn't matter if they're stone fruit, citrus, tropicals, I use it for everything. So the first thing I do is I remove my drip. I have it coiled around the container so that my fruit tree can get watered evenly. After doing all the calculations, which I can't think of now, I did them in the past, I'm gonna do 4 tablespoons for this container. I sprinkle it in and then I'm gonna scratch it into the top of the soil. I've tried different methods. I've tried putting it all over the container. I've also tried putting it around the perimeter of the container, but because these trees are potted, I just spread it evenly across the entire top of the soil and then I rub it in. Next, I'm gonna apply my drip line again. For my container trees, I fertilize them every single month, except the winter months when they go dormant.
Some for you, some for you. 4 for March, you go March. And none for Gretchen Wieners. Bye!
And I remember your face.
And the reason I fertilize them so frequently is because the containers dry out a lot faster than trees that are in the ground because they don't have that insulation from the soil, which means they're watered more often, and every time they're watered, some of that fertilizer and everything else that's good in the soil seeps out the bottom. So I don't want these trees to be struggling in the 100+ degree heat here in the low desert and then have no nutrition in the soil. So every single month I come in and I add an organic fertilizer. That's gonna break down slowly over time. And once a month, I also come in with some fish fertilizer and then I use that to give it a boost because it can immediately take it up. I like adding the mulch on top of the drip line just so that it can protect it from the sun. So I'm gonna apply a nice thin layer like this, and then this tree's ready to go. These fruit trees are like us. Sometimes we take a nap and we wake up hungry and maybe even a little bit cranky. And imagine how you would feel if you woke up and you had a haircut. So I just want to make sure that these trees are nice and happy. You can see all these feeder roots on the top. These are the ones that are going to take down all of the nutrients. These I always try to avoid cutting or pruning off. It's only the bottom roots that I really deal with. Add the drip line back on. And then I'm going to add the mulch. As it heats up, I might pull the mulch away from the trunk a little bit, just like that, but the rest of this is ready to go. I'm just gonna repeat the same thing for 9 other trees. The fig trees are all done, and hopefully this year we get a good harvest of figs. Today is April 30th. It is 102 degrees outside, and this is what the trees look like. Despite it being so hot outside, none of the leaves are wilted. Every single tree is just loaded with figs everywhere. Wait, I shouldn't say all of them because a couple of them are barely starting to form the double nodes, but most of them have baby figs on them. Some a little bit more than others, but the leaves are lush and green, and the trees truly don't seem to mind how ridiculously hot it is outside right now. But I do, so I'm heading back inside.
Of course course I made her fall. She's been on my list for a few months.